here to snap in half, crushing this family's vehicle all the way over on this side. I spoke to the family of some of the early settlers in this area who tell me why this place means so much to them. Bar owners that I spoke to in this area actually tell me that the shooting happened right across from where I'm standing at that green building right over there. You don't even need to be inside of this mobile home park to see all of the damage that this area has faced. It's damage that for some families could take several months to overcome. This actually isn't Ayala's first run-in with the law. She was actually arrested a few weeks prior. She's now being held in jail on a $20,000 bond. This is a widespread issue we're facing when it comes to mental health. The Spokane Regional Health District is trying to prepare people, saying things could get worse before they get better. There's one little girl we need to introduce you to who's making a big difference out of the comfort of her own home. Campus isn't as busy as it typically is during move-in day. Not very many students here. Just today, another 81 people tested positive for the virus in North Idaho, and it has local businesses wondering if there's enough being done to keep people safe. Things are looking different here at 911 driving school, from taking most courses online to masking up behind the wheel. The traveling teacher may have moved here just a few months ago, but she already has hundreds of parents who are interested in what she has to offer. She's been sick with this nasty cough for over a month. She was already being treated at Providence and was put on antibiotics, and when that didn't work, she decided to make another appointment. 2 weeks ago, the school district allowed kindergarteners to return to the classroom. I'm told it's going well so far because of the safety measures that they have in place. It may not seem like much, but one teenage girl is giving away thousands of these sandwiches to the homeless living in the Spokane community. One of the family members noticed the flyer on their windshield. What was on that flyer was something they say they didn't expect. Many of us are spending a lot more time inside because of this pandemic, so why not upgrade our furniture? Well, it may not be as easy as you think. Being a single mom is already a challenge in itself, and now imagine adding 6 kids to the mix. When it comes to doggy daycare, it can get confusing knowing where to take your pet. While there's no 100% guarantee, there are some red flags you should watch out for. The city is trying to be proactive when protecting our community, but say they can't do it without your help. So much fun. Well, thank you for letting me do that. Well, they told me it's been an emotional 24 hours. Employees and neighbors say they just can't believe this happened, but they're hoping to get to the bottom of this.
I mean, it was horrifying. It looked like he basically looked like he'd been hit by a train.
In the amount of time they've known each other,
Probably about 8 years.
Joe Warren has never seen his neighbor, Steve Walson, go through something this horrifying.
I've seen the video of this. It absolutely looks like it was an intentional act.
That surveillance video shows Walson walking to the Hyco gas station when this dark-colored SUV starts driving towards him in the parking lot. We've decided not to show what happens next, but the video shows that SUV running over Walson multiple times. The SUV then drives to the opposite side of the parking lot before passing the victim once again and driving away.
We got him sat down over here, and this is why he bled so much here.
When Joe found Steve, he immediately called 911. He was taken to the hospital shortly after. While he's still in a lot of pain,
He has a partially collapsed lung. He has several broken ribs.
he says his neighbor is going to be okay. But he, along with employees at the Hyco gas station, are determined to find out who hurt their friend.
My mind's blown with the extent that it was and the fact that somebody could just drive away.
And say they'll do whatever they can to help.
He's not just a customer to us, he's family. We all take care of our own here, and we've always taken care of him.
Now, employees at the Hyco gas station say that if you'd like to help with any medical expenses, you can make a donation. You can just drop it off over here. They're just trying to lift his spirits. Even flowers could help, and they'll drop it off to him right away. We'll leave the address for you on KXLY.com. Erin, Mia. Fire that happened last week in this tiny town put Malden on the map for many people. However, I spoke to the family of some of the early settlers in this area who tell me why this place means so much to them.
The powerhouse sat down here.
To some, this small town may not seem like much.
It's quiet.
For Jim Moreland and his family, it's been home for as long as they can remember.
The ranch has been here in the family since the 1915s.
Their connection to Malden goes even further back, all the way to 1890, when Moreland's great-grandfather moved to the area before it was even considered a town.
They sold plots and lots to the people that moved in.
Plots and lots eventually turning into homes. Homes now barely recognizable after a wildfire destroyed nearly everything.
That was a trauma and tragedy that never dreamed I'd ever see.
Everything we've done for 40 years is on this place.
Jim's sister Julia was here when it happened.
But Kristen called me and she says, it's coming, it's getting closer. And I said, well, be prepared to evacuate.
She says she was on her way out of town and what felt like just moments later, she'd soon find out much of her property was destroyed. Several cars, their barn, even their duck farm, gone.
Yeah, it's a little tough to take. I still haven't been into town yet.
I'll be glad when it's all scraped off and we can start anew. That's our goal.
Although it's hard to process, the Moreland family knows there's a lot to be grateful for.
No lives were lost. Nobody was hurt anywhere around here.
They plan on rebuilding the life they created here in Malden.
I was still here when I was a kid growing up.
Even if that means starting from scratch.
I know.
Katerina Chryssafis, 4 News Now. For some people that I spoke with today, this situation hits close to home. Still, they wonder if the use of force was really necessary.
I've seen protests and violence all my life.
What happened on Sunday in Spokane wasn't a first for some.
Black folks or folks of color are just exhausted.
Spokane's District 2 City Councilwoman Betsy Wilkerson fears it won't be the last.
I'm disturbed. The weight, honestly, is almost unbearable.
What started off as a peaceful protest honoring the life of George Floyd took a turn for the worse.
Toward the end, that just went south.
Spokane police say Sunday night, nearly 500 people began protesting in downtown Spokane.
We've never had this many people consistently downtown refusing to leave for that long. Ever, ever, ever.
When protesters began throwing rocks and threatening officers, they decided to take action, using tear gas and rubber bullets to stop the chaos from getting worse.
I think we handled it phenomenally well. I really do.
Others aren't so sure.
Certainly, the rubber bullets, I wasn't feeling that.
There's been some challenging police dynamics manifested here over a period of time, and we need to own that.
Curtis Robinson, president of the Spokane NAACP, says Spokane has already come a long way, but agrees there's still room to grow.
I believe we're absolutely headed there, right? But it's just the beginning.
The beginning of what will hopefully be equal treatment for all.
Unless you're a mother of a child of color, you do not know what it feels like to have to tell your kids, just get home safe. Just get home safe. Just live to fight another day.
Now, as you can see behind me, some of these businesses have already started boarding up their windows, just preparing for what could potentially happen. What I did talk to everyone about, and they all agreed with, was that if you do come out here and you protest, please do so safely and respectfully. Local fabric stores have been spending countless hours making masks just like these. They've made hundreds of them so far for first responders, but they can't do it without your help. For many, sewing is just a hobby. These past few weeks, it's served a much bigger purpose.
We are working on making the face masks for the fire department, the hospital, all of that.
Grace Getty works at the Quilting Bee in Spokane Valley. Their store is just one of many creating these masks for first responders.
We're just kind of pumping them out as much as we can. And
more than 200 masks in just a matter of days.
And I see that our baskets are getting pretty full today, so I'm hoping for another 200 today.
The best part, anyone can help. And they have been. Getty says people have been dropping off supplies, even bringing in their own masks.
I mean, it warms my heart to see the community just joining together to get everyone protected and safe.
It doesn't stop there. There are also stores in town giving away free mask kits.
They can come and pick them up, take them home, sew them up, bring them back.
Although times may be uncertain,
I'll I'll be honest, it's a little scary. I don't like the thought of us having to close out for a couple of weeks, but I understand it's going to keep everybody safe.
For now, all that's left to do is sew. A familiar hobby, making a huge difference during an unfamiliar time. Now, the local fabric stores that I spoke with are running low on supplies, so they'll take all the donations they can get. For a list of all the drop-off locations, just visit our website, kxly.com. You don't even need to be inside of this mobile home park to see all of the damage that this area has faced. It's damage that for some families could take several months to overcome.
Pulling up every time, I just can't even believe it.
Amanda Nickerson was out of town with her husband this past Saturday when she got an unexpected phone call from her kids.
They called us about 5:30 in the morning and said a tree had fell on their house.
Shortly after, another tree fell, crushing both her husband and her son's car.
We got here right after that happened, and the winds were just blowing so hard, and we could hear trees snapping and falling all around us.
4 trees, eventually falling right on her house and cars.
It's not fixable. The whole floor, the whole everything is just... there's a tree in our kitchen.
Turning the place she called home for the past 17 years into a total loss.
I don't have a house to live in, and I don't even know what they're going to do to help.
I know, what it's like to have your house destroyed. And so to see all this is just like, oh my goodness, my heart aches for these people.
Meanwhile, tree service companies are working to clean up the mess at Lucky Pines Estates. But they're not the only ones stepping up.
We've known a lot of these people our entire lives, and my good friends and stuff I've known since I was very young.
While the storm may have caused a lot of damage, for now, they're focusing on the bigger picture.
If nobody got hurt, that's what matters.
It's just a day at a time.
In Post Falls, Katerina Chryssafis, 4 News Now. That is correct. Sweet like baklava. And right now we are at the 84th Annual Greek Festival. I'm joined now by John and, of course, all of these lovely Greek dancers over here. How are you doing today?
We're doing excellent.
Awesome. So tell me, Greek dancing is obviously a very big part of the Greek culture. So tell me a little bit about this group that you have here.
Well, we have a group of some Greek kids, some not Greek kids, and they've been dancing for some of them as little as a year and some as much as, 10 years? 10 or 12 years. And they've been dancing a long time. I've been teaching them for 15 years, and they're really good kids here.
Absolutely. So you don't have to be Greek to Greek dance. So if you come on by, you can always join. I think I'm going to join in. We're going to do one of the traditional dances called sirto. So I'm going to hand this to you. He's going to explain what we're doing, and we're going to dance a little bit.
All right. So the sirto is the traditional national dance of Greece. And if you go to any party in Greece, they're going to dance this dance over and over and over.
Thank you for letting me do that. They are so talented.
Yes, they are.
This is such a big part of the Greek culture. We love to dance and we love to eat. So speaking of food, we're going to go over and walk to the food right now. Let's go take a look, John. So tell us, if you're not a dancer, you always have the option to eat some of the delicious Greek cuisine that we have here. Explain what we have, John.
So over here we have kapama, and this is our dinner that we serve. It's a braised beef dish. It's in a wine tomato sauce. These are it's a chicken pita. It's a recipe we have here locally, and that is a sausage. It's called lukanika, and we've got, as Adair is pouring over there, we have lukumades, and these are a donut. They're like a fried dough ball in a honey syrup. And we've got some Greek wine and a deli tray with some dolmatas and feta and various Greek foods.
All of the good foods. So definitely come on by if you have time. They will be here until 8 p.m. tonight. John, how long is this festival going on for?
We start at 11 a.m. and go till 8 p.m. and it's tomorrow is our last day. So come on by.
You have one more day, everyone. You heard it here. So anyone who wants to stop by, we're having a great time. But for now, we're going to send it back to you guys in the studio. I'm going to go back and join them for some more dancing. So back to you guys.